Welcome back, everybody. Starladder Europe for Season 11 kicks off now. We've had China, we've had SEA, and now it's time for Europe. Dota 2 action for Starladder just keeps on raging on. I'm GoDz from Beyond the Summit. LD has been replaced by a bucket full of Cheez-Its. It's the best I could do, sorry. Yeah, LD won't be joining me for this game. We'll see what I can do for game number 2, as we have got 2 European matches today. We've got mYinsanity taking on xGame.kz. xGame.kz, some of you may know as NextKZ, the team from Kazakhstan. And yeah, they're definitely a pretty formidable team. They've had some okay-ish results the past few seasons. They're kind of a staple in the Starladder season. And mYinsanity, well, they're a new team. I believe they came through the Pro Series, worked their way up, got into the top division. Here they are, ready to take on, well, some of Europe's best. You have the teams such as Secret, EG, and all the likes. Like, well, not so much in Europe. EG, of course, playing over in America, but teams like Secret, Fnatic, Na'Vi, Cloud9, all in the Europe division. But we're going to get our things underway. This is our first match for Europe. I'm excited. It's a lot of fun. I'll be solo casting this game, something I don't get to do all too often. So, hope you guys are ready for some good Dota. And, well, we're going to get things underway. Let's hop ourselves into the draft. Or are we? We got some rosters. If you guys aren't familiar with these guys, mYinsanity, Mitch, Grazine, Milan, Lizard, and Booktop. Some kind of old school players who some of you may remember from Dota 1 on the mYinsanity side. Grazine and Mitch playing on some old school. I think even were at one point the Fnatic, one of the original Fnatic Dota 2 teams, if you go way back, when they had the Hon team as well as the Dota team. But they're taking on xGame.kz. So they're playing over on the Dire side. Speaking of Dire side, let's talk draft. We're a bit of a ways underway here as we get ourselves, well, it's a speed draft. We're going to see mYinsanity. They had the second pick, so it was the first pick, Ogre McGee, Scareth Mage, and Elder Titan. The response coming from the mYinsanity side. And then it was a Batrider from xGame.kz. They really like their Batrider. I see them run this hero a lot. Then we see a Death Prophet pick from xGame.kz in response to the Doom, as well as a Venomancer, 4th pick. So most likely your secondary support, although also potentially a solo mid, the Venomancer. I wouldn't jump too far ahead of ourselves as far as where he's going to be going. xGame.kz have one of their 2 supports. Maybe thinking of picking up another one here. Still need their safe lane farmer most likely. And if they want to keep that a secret, well, it's going to be a support picked up here in the 4th position. As we'll wait and see exactly what we have in store and what's going to be coming our way. So, it's going to be some fun. Let's hope Starladder Season 11 is going to continue here. And, well, it's well, just starting. So we've got a ticket, for those of you who don't know. Season 11 ticket is in the store. All 25% of proceeds go to the prize pool as per usual. You get a... I don't know. You get a Luna set. I was going to say a nice Luna set, and I was like, let me rephrase that. You get a Luna set. Some people like it, some people don't. And what I like is the Medusa pick. xGame.kz, there's your safe lane farmer. Well, this is interesting choice here. I like it against the Doom just because of how goddamn tanky the Medusa is. Not really a good Doom target. Death Prophet, similar thing. Once you've got the X's and the Ghosts up, I don't really think there's much merit to dooming this Death Prophet. And, well, we'll have to see where else this Doom goes. Right now, it just looks like it could be the offlaner. We've been seeing a lot of the support Elder Titan, a la No-Tail from Team Secret. So, we'll see exactly what the plan is going to be with some of these picks and lanes as far as mYinsanity is concerned. As mentioned, the Venomancer can fill that support or core role. And with the Elder Titan maybe being played as a support, that puts Venomancer in the mid role, puts Doom in the off lane, and mYinsanity are looking for a last pick farmer of some kind. I don't know exactly who plays what role. Have not got to cast these guys, although I am familiar with some of their players. Having versed Lizard one too many times, that guy plays one of the sickest meepos ever. If you ever meet him in matchmaking, be afraid of his meepo. That's all I've got to say. And it's going to be a Spectre, so it is going to be the safe lane farmer last, putting Elder Titan on support. As mentioned, Doom likely the off lane and Veno the mid. I'm not sure if Lizard plays that carry/mid role like he's kind of known for as far as the ranked pub matchmaking goes. And we'll see what the plan's gonna be for xGame.kz with their last pick. Just a support needed, so I wouldn't expect anything too spicy to come out here to go with the Ogre Magi. Probably just looking at some kind of a standard, maybe Ancient Apparition, not bad. The Ogre AA, pretty deadly support duo as far as actual early game killing potential, and both scale nicely into the later game, not to mention can benefit quite a bit from the items and farms that supports tend to get nowadays. So We'll see exactly what xGame.kz have in mind. Otherwise, you've got your standard, your Rubiks, your CMs, your Vengeful Spirits, and whatnot. So, not much time left. They're ticking through their reserve time here. Just 15 seconds for xGame.kz. As time does tick down, and really, they're maybe not too sure what they want to go. At the same time, it's not like it's going to be a game-breaking hero as one of their cores, but it's a Dazzle, so it is a hero which can have, theoretically, pretty high impact. You've got the Graves, you've got the... If someone's getting initiated upon and then getting hit by the Mystic Flare of the Scarith Mage, could potentially save them, or there isn't really any lockdown. As I've just realized, mYinsanity have absolutely 0 disable. They've got a level death, which is, well, it's got a mini stun, but it doesn't actually keep people in place. You've got the Elder Titan Stomp, which is kind of like the Bane Nightmare. I'm sure it disables them, stuns them, and whatnot, but it doesn't actually... You can't actually attack. When you attack them, you wake them up. So, not exactly your standard actual source of lockdown. And, well, we'll see exactly how things go here. We'll get ourselves into the game, show in game. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And get some overlays going and getting used to all the Starladder fun little tools we have. When I say fun little tools, I mean fun little tools. If you don't believe me, all right, I was gonna show some fun little tools. I don't know where these things are. Oh, here we go. We bring out the crabs. Here we go. Let's get things underway. It's time. We're gonna introduce our Radiant side. It is gonna be Team xGame.kz. We've got Stalcat playing the offlane on the Batrider. We're gonna have Equal playing the support Ogre Magi. Over in the middle lane, it will be Whatafaka playing the Death Prophet. And the mid player for the team Mantis is gonna be on the Medusa. Reeves playing the support Dazzle. And then over on the Dire side, it's Team mYinsanity. Mitch going to be playing the Farming Spectre. I say that, is he actually going offlane on this Spectre? This is something new. Elder Titan Milan, currently sitting in the mid lane. I think he's just going to be doing the creep block. Maybe a Spectre mid. Grizine on the Doombringer, currently poised to kind of take over the jungle. He's actually got some Tangos. I think he's going mid lane. That's why he's got the 2 Tangos pulled, but he wants to grab a big creep early on, so maybe Elder Titan will just get some early XP and farm. At the top lane, looks like Lizard, the Meepo player as mentioned, is going to be playing a farming Venomancer, and Hatawa going to be on the Skywrath Mage. So, it looks like both teams will back their way out of there as Doom picks up a Bounty Rune. Bottom lane, Spectre gets an illusion, and, well, it is an offlane Spectre. Okay. Let's see it. Let's something different coming out. You see the Spectre, you think farm, 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 but they're doing Venomancer in the safe lane. Mitch going to go off lane on a Spectre role here. Is the Illusion Rune going to make his life a whole lot easier? That's for sure. As he gets that nice little block where you can put that range creep out in front. Radiant side get a ward up here top to help him out. They've got a dual lane with Ogre currently residing up there as well. And we'll see exactly what he can do here. Looking to just keep Hatawa as far as possible. No clarities on the Scarith Mage. Not your standard actual starting items for your Scarith Mage, but prioritizing having the regen, being able to pull regen to his team as well. And Doom, what do you get? He got an Alpha Wolf. It's pretty nice. Will help out a bit here for sure as far as last thing goes, and even when you're going for those kills, you got that nice little crit chance as well as the extra bonus damage, so nice little pick up. Mitch at bottom, he's going to get continuously harassed, I can only imagine, with the 8 Tangos to south. He's kind of prepared for that. That's kind of the expectation when he goes for the offlane Spectre. I don't know what he's exactly meant to achieve. Like, you're not like a hero like a Centaur who you hit level 6 and you can offer something to your team in the form of a Stampede, and you eventually get just that one item, the Blink Dagger, to have an impact. For Mitch, you need a bit more. Like, maybe your cheap item can be something like an Urn, but your level 6 is not as like big an ultimate as something like a Stampede. So I'm curious to see exactly how they play this Spectre and just how in general the Spectre does. Mitch getting a couple CS here and there, and looks like it will be a full trial lane for mYinsanity at the top lane. Alright, so as we get things started here, Whatafaka at mid, how's he doing as far as farm goes? Very early days. He's actually behind on CS to the Doom, but he's been focusing a lot more on the harass here. You can see Grizine shoot through one pulled Tengo as well as a salve already. Although I think that's his bottle coming out on the courier. Yeah, so Grizine doing just fine here. And 2-minute rune's going to be spawning. It starts out as a regen up top, bounty rune at bottom, which will be grabbed by the Spectre. Spectre already level 3. Alright, this offlane Spectre leeching and doing okay here, but first blood comes at top lane. Caught the very end of that one as Ogre Magi gets initiated on. Batrider now forced the Firefly onto the high ground. Not really a position he wanted to be in, so mYinsanity, they get the first kill of Starladder Europe. Season 11. here being cast by Beyond the Summit, and well, it's a good start for the new team in this division. Ruzine at mid seems to be handling himself pretty well at the same time. He's outlast hitting this Death Prophet pretty handily at that. Not something you would expect from him in this lane. As for Mantis, the the main character for the xGame.kz side. Normally, often you see teams run this Death Prophet kind of like a one position, but you got to do something. Nuh-uh, that changes. Mantis is top of the CS as far as Radiance is concerned, and well, has that support and the zoning of Reeves here. As Mitch, you can see, just trying to trade right clicks, and Dazzle not having boots makes this kind of hard for him to actually battle Mitch, but with Medusa coming in, throws a Mystic Snake, creates some mana, he's going to be fine here. And running low on tangos is Mitch. So the tri-lane top for mYinsanity, much bigger success, having picked up first blood. Here comes again towards mid lane. Gruzine. Scorched Earth is on cooldown. That's problematic, and there's going to be a Crypt Storm in 2 seconds. This is going to be kill going the way of the Radiant. xGame.kz, they strike back, and Scorched Earth being on cooldown. Ogre just gets a nice little gank just with boots, and well, that's a good pickup for him. Mitch is going to be juking it out here with the Dazzle. Uh-oh. 1 or 2 more right clicks. This is going to be close. One more. Can he get on the uphill? Will it be enough? The poison damage will tick, and Dazzle kills the Spectre. That normally would sound crazier than it does, but this isn't offlane Spectre. But at the same time, it was more or less a solo kill. Meanwhile, top river, mYinsanity. Hadawa being helped out there by the Echo Stomp of Milan. He's gone for a 1-1-1 build. Just right-clicking down the Death Prophet. He has another Crypt Storm in a couple of seconds here, but suddenly Death Prophet's like, oh wait, this ain't going how I planned it. The hasted Dazzle. This Dazzle's already got himself a kill and 800 gold as a result of that. What's he up to next? We'll have to wait and see. He's going to make his way towards mid. Just do some right clicker as. Doing with that abysmal face armor. Will not be happy about that. Not to mention just stuff like Poison Touch. Being very pesky with the physical damage. And bottom lane, Mitch 6 CS to his name. Oh, you gotta... Always got to worry a bit with the Spectre, but getting okay experience. So we'll see what Spectre can do. Hits level 6, gets a Haunt in line, and maybe tries to find some kills. Again, very little lockdown and just ways to take fights in general, I feel, in the early to like around the 10-minute mark. There's Batrider doing some jungling very early on at that. Looks like he was after low on HP, just hit level 4. Will make his way back to base and keep on going from there. Milan and Lizard the top lane. So you've got this farming Venomance. He's going to be maxing the Plague Wards, very standard stuff there, and his job will just be to continuously pressure towers by basically setting up that big wall of Plague Wards around that level 7 mark, and it forces xGame.kz to constantly have a hero in that lane. And Lizard, well, he may be less inclined to drink with fights mid lane, though. A bit of engagement coming in. They get the first kill on the Death Prophet. Second kill could be coming mYinsanity's way as well. The Batrider, one more Arcane Bolt. That's going to get him low. Spectre wants to chase. He wants his kill. One Desolate right click will not be enough. He needs a second. Mitch is going to lose vision. The dagger wears off, and it's actually top lane. Venomance getting killed on the Ogre. Magi. I can't pick him this game, as we'll see Lizard get himself on the board with his level 6. Back towards the mid lane. Reeves going to be coming in once again, looking for that Spectre kill. That oh so juicy Spectre meat. Who doesn't want a piece of that ass? Skywrath going to swing back towards this bottom lane. Just drops a sentry ward, just checking maybe for a lane ward, which is not the case there. And we can see here, this is what happens. Venomance just sits top. Doesn't even necessarily need the backup, although for now, Elder Titan can't really go anyway. He's just kind of, I don't know, living on food stamps right now. This is what you have to do early game as an Elder Titan, kind of leech a lot of experience. You do go for those early boots so you can just right-click down squishy your heroes, but in between, when you're harassing and zoning people out, you're just sitting there leeching XP and maybe taking the last hit or two or going for a pull hero there, but not really offering a whole lot to your team. But as far as the laning kind of goes, but you make up for that so much elsewhere. Amplifying all the damage of your team with the aura and just generally being a fantastic setup and damage dealer in the mid to later game. Oh, this is Doom Invis, level 7 as well. Mana Shield is turned off, and that's problematic here. He's going to go for the Doom. Follow up. Well, it's kind of needed at this point. Spectre has the dagger, and Dazzle, well, may go for a deny out of this one. Look at these Doom right clicks. Is he going to go for the deny from the high ground? Nope, misses it. Doom instead going to retreat out of there. Gets the kill, though, to his name. Yikes. And Doom will wander his way back through the lane. Has phase boots up and level 8 already. Looking pretty good, but here comes not so much a flank, just looking to defend this tier 1 tower. Elder Titan has got the Soul Ring up, so nothing crazy out of that, and this just gives him that ability to keep spamming his Astral, and if he wants to, throw a Echo Stomp with it. Top lane, Lizard, he's not giving up. He's going to keep on chipping and pushing away. He's working on the mech for the team. So you put the Venom safe lane, getting the free farm. Well, it's to get him online fast with that mech, and then you can go from there. As far as xGame.kz are concerned, so much is going to rely on this Duce, it feels. Having a good time at this mid lane. Oh god, Mitch is not having fun with that Mystic Snake harass coming in. I wonder if we'll see another Doom rotation sometime soon. They killed Duce once, but I'd love to find a few more along those lines. It's going to be a smoke gank coming into play, so no vision of the Radiant to spot that one. They do have some further east near the T1 tower. They're going to walk right into this bat right, it looks like. He's got 1100 gold. Working his blink, I think. No, they didn't see it. Yeah, they ping him. Let's say they were very close to him, but it's Medusa they want. That's the big prize. And Medusa is pushing further up. Uh-oh. No TP support. There's a Doom available, and this should be an easy kill. Concussive shot is there. No TP support, and even if there was, I don't think it would change this Medusa's fate. As Mantis turns around, throws a right click or two, and well, accept the fact that he's going down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Milan gets the stomp. He needed that to save his life, it looks like, and looks like Death Prophet will give up chase as a result. Well, we'll give up chase on the Elder Titan, but will not give up on this tower. Throws the ultimate up as the mYinsanity go for the trade at bottom lane. Looking for this tier 1, and they're up 5 kills to 2, and it's not just the tier 1 they want, it's Reeves on the Dazzle. Stalcat will deter the chase. And also we'll probably stop this tier 1 tower push, yeah. With the help of a Shadow Wave, that's it. That's the end. Tier 1 mid tower, deny. Oh, Skywrath Mage, one more right click. Woohoo! Tower gets denied, but Death Prophet finds a solo kill in a 1v2 scenario. Right as Exorcism was wearing out. Maybe a bit unlucky there with the timing, Skywrath, as he probably was clicking and seeing, okay, it's just about to wear off, I should be fine and not take too much damage. But those ghosts, just at the last second, did a ton of damage to him. This Venom must be very close to mech. Okay, he's got the buckler pieces, could buy the mech. Completely out of mana. Just where he maybe just wants to buy the wand to give him those extra charges and boost to HP as well as, more importantly, mana, it seems, at this game, considering he didn't go for the arcane, but went for the treads instead, which I think is fine. You're a safe lane farmer. At some point, maybe you're thinking, well, maybe the games these days tend to go long. Teams can stall, teams delay. They sit on the high ground and spam spells, and that's where doing a bit more actual DPS in the later game can come into your favor. So Spectre, Brown Boots, Wand, Poor Man's Shield, and we'll be working on that Urn of Shadows, so going for just cheap, cost-effective items to try and probably fight fairly early. And mYinsanity, I'd say, off to a slightly better start. Gold net worth disagrees slightly, and experience also, so they're up on kills and just seem to be controlling the pace a little bit, but as far as raw farm goes, it's actually the Radiant side. Very poor Skywrath Mage is partly to attribute to that, and yeah, the Spectre, of course, is, I guess, the bigger issue. So that's where you give the Spectre tons of free farm and just, well, not so much free farm, but tons of just space that the rest of the team can create. Doom with his ultimate backup will be looking to do just that. And it seems to be around the middle lane. Create distraction, be the decoys for the team who then open the Spectre to push the bottom lane and also even come into these Radiant neutrals to some extent if you want to, but man, this Doom is playing with fire. He's even showing himself as he does this. Has Doom, they're going to go for a concussive shot. This Stone Gaze being popped, they don't want to use that Doom. Probably not confident they can get a kill, and I, well, got to agree with them. Off to the side, Skywrath Mage. Still lurking, still waiting for that opening to come. Another time we'll throw a Spirit, and, well, you can't just run away every time you see the Spirit. That's really the big issue here for me. It's like, okay, they see something like a Spirit, they back off, they give up the chase, but at some point they're just going to have to make the commitment. They had a good pretty good early game start. You go for a fight. You don't want to be the one just sitting back, letting Spectre kind of catch up when you're the one when you're ahead. Is there like one of the games early today we saw that Midas Viper, and he was behind and kind of struggling, and it wasn't going to help him fight. If anything, it was going to hurt him short term, but it's one of those things where the minuses kind of come into play when you're actually behind. They're kind of your catch-up to try and stall for the late game. But when you're ahead like this and you can just pick up like 1 or 2 really cost-effective items that help you snowball, Blink Deck, one of those big ones that comes to mind, even just stuff like drums, mech, you should definitely go for it. Also is that a self-heal and the grave. Ottawa didn't seem to have too much interest in what was actually cooking there in the middle lane on the Dazzle. As far as some of these item builds go, I'm going to be curious. Okay, so Grazine answers that, says he's gone for a drums. He already has 600-ish gold. Not going for a Midas will somewhat stunt his farm, but not be all crippling. We'll see what the next plan's going to be. It seems they want to give Spectre some actual farm himself now. No longer just sack him off in that off lane. Say, look dude, you just do what you got to do. Well, he's going to think he's safe, but realistically, nah. Here comes Batrider looking for the kidnap. Ogre Magi gets the 1 stun, and well, dagger out, not going to be successful to save his life. And Lizard now. Mech complete, 1k gold. Probably see a point booster. Just got to get those Ags ultis. I wonder if Doom's thinking a similar thing. Gold. Sometimes you're going to go for that mobility that Blink provides, but this is one of those games, and I don't really get the feeling it's that crucial, but it's never bad to get the Blink. Never bad. Well, alright. Let's see what the plan's going to be here. So Grazine just going to be stockpiling up his gold here. Mantis, meanwhile, he's working on a Yasha. So he's going for some cost-effective gets scaled here in the jungle, and doesn't actually have mana for a TP after some of that poison damage. Lizard could almost go in for an ulti there. Although Batrider was lurking nearby as well. He's now picked up a gem. He's really concerned about the just raw, absolute map control of this game. And Bat, yeah, this is... I don't think it's how you can really defend here. They know making sure that with just one well-placed play will just scare everyone off. And suddenly it's like, oh, we can't really TP. There's a Venno here and who knows who else. This is maybe our opponents actually grouping up to go for that 5-man Dodam where we should be split pushing. We should have 1 mid if you're xGame.kz. You should be trying to push out the top against the solo Spectre who is just thinking, okay, we go for this 4-1 split, fight breaks out, I horn in, and I'm there. I didn't miss out on that thing. That is not the kind of engagements that xGame.kz want to be getting. They need to try and burst one as fast as possible to start the fight. Even go for kind of sneaky plays like, you gave that Spectre. You want to farm the Spectre up top? Take a pick off. Oh, lasso. Ooh, the kidnap's there. Grazine, he's the target, but he's still so healthy. Pop the drum charge if you want to as well. The Doom going to come out now as well. It's the Death Prophet. He has Exorcism up, but that's going to just help get the kill. 1 down, turn away from the Stone Gaze Lizard. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Will he get out of there? You betcha. That mech helping save his life, and now it's the Batrider. The Doom is just doing huge right clicks. Milan maybe thinking he can try and get the kill in the Bat, but unfortunately for him, the Shallow Grave can help things out there. Equal now on the other side of the trees. Still working to escape, gets body blocked by a teammate of all people. The Doom will finish him off with a right click, and the entire mYinsanity team have not lost a single hero this fight. And charges now come into play, and nicely done from mYinsanity, who now find themselves up 7 kills to 4. Okay. This draft, I feel, just gets kind of scary as time goes on as well. We'll start seeing this natural order really coming into play. And the Spectre, well, I mean, everyone's going to be dealing out a lot more as a result. It's the damage amplification draft from the Magic Seal to the natural order, and mYinsanity got a pretty worrisomely strong lineup right now. Doom goes back for a Midas. I definitely agree with this. These kind of 15-minute later Midases are becoming more and more a thing. Much like I mentioned earlier, like you want to maybe go first time Midas when you're really behind, but when you suddenly get really far ahead and you reach this farming state of the game, I think getting these 15-minute Midases after you have your first kind of medium core item, in this case the Doom's drums, sometimes you'll see it on like, well, we're seeing it on Pucks getting the Midas before the Blink, but I think you can go Blink then back into Midas if you want, in some context, so yeah, we're seeing more and more this. And, well, it looks like a group up is in the cards for mYinsanity. Are they thinking another smoke here? Yes, they are. Doom smoke very close to the middle lane, and I kind of have to always wonder, was that actually spotted? It's a smoke into Roshan, though. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay. Well, that's maybe possible to stop. Medusa nearby. Anyone else? No, they're at top. They're going for the tier 1 tower top. Well, we'll take that. And mYinsanity say, you take our tier 1, we take the Roshan. Or our Roshan. It's not your Roshan. You guys know. As long as Doom doesn't get permabashed. And Doom actually going to be the one who takes the Aegis, so good stuff coming from him. Okay. At the top lane, Equal looking to maybe lay a trap here for mYinsanity, hoping that someone like Spectre TP's into farm, and uh-oh. It's going to be a pick off in the Radiant jungle. They find the Medusa Exorcism at top lane being popped, and tier 2 tower is the target for xGame. TPs start rolling in, Elder Titan TPing to the tier 3. Are they going to be TPs to this tier 2 though is the question. It's always so tricky to do, like you're somewhere else on the map, and even if everyone has TPs, you're TPing in one by one, your opponents can just play around knowing exactly which order your heroes are TPing in, also the exact position they're going to be in, and abuse that excess knowledge that they have. So for now, with Doom having an Age, you've got to think mYinsanity we want to take some kind of a fight in some way. Mid's still just farming things up, and an offlane Spectre going to be considering Radiance at this point. You got 2.2k gold. What started as just a suicide solo Spectre is suddenly looking to be an okay farmed core hero. Not really the one position by any means, but it's a decent chunk of gold. mYinsanity are definitely the ones I'd say in control of this affair right now. It's a dead even net worth graph. And for the experience graph, it's about 1200. Pretty marginal right now. And definitely something that's going to be changing soon. The farm will accelerate so fast for the Doom, who's now got Midas and Devour, for the Spectre when the Radiance comes online. A lot of farming tools on the die for the Radiant. Not bad, but they're much more about the 5-man. You've got Exorcism, you've got Medusa, who's just tanking, kind of sits there, soaking up damage, and Barrett can maybe start off a fight with a pick-off, so I don't think they'll be too intent on anything other than these kind of like 5-man death ball type plays. I like what we see up top. Spectre says, I can defend if we need it, and then I can ulti into this fight with one breakout. And heck, from the Dire side, they're not looking to start a fight themselves. They're trying to just force their opponents in, keeping the Plague Ward wall up. And just do as much as possible, just to chip away slowly, bit by bit, at the xGame.kz defense. Wonderflucker has Yule's drums now, so just going for some... The Yule sanded the drums of lesser seen items that are slightly helpful along the way as far as just building up to your bigger items goes. xGame.kz being really pushed back. Not fun at all. And for top lane, we do see complexity. They're thinking, we maybe can do this. We maybe got this. Spectre's going to be there waiting for them, but confidence is definitely something which I can appreciate when you're behind by a small little margin at this time. Anything you can say to boost your team's confidence, win your fight, get you just a single kill could make a big difference. They're going to go for the lasso. Bring it down fast enough. Blink is still not available. Ghosts are coming close. There's your earn charge at the last second. Now the chase is on. Can they turn this one around? Death Prophet doesn't look likely. And then as a result, we should... Oh, there we go. Death Prophet goes down. As a result, do we get more? It's going to be Bat Rider. Oh, down he goes to the Mystic Flare. Well played. Venno in the trees. Gets his Ag Scepter. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. He's going to be nice and big and farmed. And there's more stacks in there. mYinsanity jungle. They can... Well, need to farm up some more of their heroes too as well. As Mantis gets Scarlet. His farm is not great. Not the worst, but definitely not great. You're number 4. Kind of the hard carry for the team. The 3 deaths, sorry. Single assist. Very inconsequential game coming from the Medusa play so far, but Mantis has time to turn this one around. Should he be able to? And we still have yet to see that proper 4-1 split from mYinsanity where they take a fight, Spectre haunts in, and well, they do the business. And partly because they don't want to fight this 5 into xGame.kz. Not the easiest thing to do. That right with Blink and 4 stuff. Ogre getting fairly farmed. Yeah, we'll definitely see if they explore their options apart from that. You're always kind of at risk of your Spectre maybe getting ganked out a bit. And Spectre, speaking of which, has a relic, so like a 25-26 minute radiance. It's not too shabby by any means. It's not ideal, but considering how bad this game has been, yeah, I think it's going to be alright for this Spectre. The comeback is definitely very real. As for top, motherfucker. So it seems that xGame.kz want to keep the pressure at top lane just because they know pushes may be coming at some point. So they won't be able to go for trades, even if it is just kind of supports. And in some ways having supports do this works out nicer because if they do happen to get picked off walking past wards, whatever it may be, getting caught by a smoke gank, well, you've lost the support. Losing a core even... Make sure it's your least important support. Like sometimes losing a 4-position hero or what quote-unquote starts as a support but ends up more as a semi-carry can really hurt as well. And the 4 stuff, you wanted that pick off. Really wanted that pick off. But just seeing in the jungle is mYinsanity now. It's 10 kills to 6. Where do things stand right now? It's still so dead even. Experience, similar story. And for Lizard, he's got his Ag Scepter. Ooh, building up towards a Veil, I can only imagine. With this Null Talisman. And we just have not seen Lizard at any of these fights. Particularly, and he's getting caught out because he's pushing and farming on his own. He's going to get lassoed, 4 stuff back in, throws the ultimate, just to try and do as much damage as he can. May turn for a Gale. Yeah, no. Locked down too much. Yeah, he does get the Yoga Magi down pretty damn low. There was a trade-off, and that's top lane. So Death Prophet gets picked off there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, this Venomancer ulti doing huge damage. This is where the Spectre just pulled out. There we go, the Veno Spectre synergy. Oh! He gets 2 out of it, Ogre and Batrider. This farming Veno with Ags, and then the Spectre just cleans up. That is some sick, nasty synergy. Oh boy. And Spectre suddenly not only has Radiance, but has 950 gold on top. That Haunt coming at the perfect time, or the Radiance coming at the perfect time. Could not have scripted that one better. So best of 1 now to start off the European division is looking absolutely fantastic for mYinsanity. Doom's on top of the net worth, where you so often see Doom just from the Devour Midas spam. And Deuces, I just feel like there's to some extent in perpetual catch-up mode. Until that one maybe GG push comes when you're feeling desperate down the middle lane or whatever it may be, but we'll see how soon maybe that even gets brought up. So, as things kind of slow down here, we enter this kind of mid-game farming stage. It's a Spectre and Medusa game. We do see Medusa now with a Skadi. Spectre 1400 gold is not at the same level as Medusa, but it's definitely feasible. And yeah, it's Elder Titan with a Yule Scepter. Jeez. Farm just comes out of nowhere for some of these heroes. Like, you look at the poor Skyrath, he's got 2,500 net worth, and suddenly all these other supports are like 4 to 5k. Just being around kills, staying alive, and Sure, there's scenarios where you just gotta, as a support, you gotta maybe throw your body in the way for a teammate. Do your bodyguard duties, but... We'll see a concussive shot. Ogre Magi stuck on the hill. Oh, are they gonna Scarith ulti? Yeah, no. They're just gonna throw an Arcane Bolt. So Ogre Magi goes down. It looks like the swing is towards the top lane. Spectre, having used Haunt. Ooh, almost gets a bat right at top. Very, very close, and we'll see another TP coming out. xGame. We'll get out with just the one casualty. And possibly Pusher's going to be coming our way soon. No, better hope that Yules doesn't find you yet. He's got the juice. Haven't seen that much pressure from xGame.kz, despite having what looks to be the much heavier pushing draft. Even picked up by Death Prophet, and yeah, this Death Prophet will kind of transition into much more of a carry-based play. You can just tank up, dish up big damage in the late game using the X's, but you've got to fight around that long cooldown X's, and in between you're kind of stalling, waiting for Dusa. Or Dusa is kind of starting to get online, but at least not fighting without Dusa having Stone Gaze as well as a more big ultimate. Bottom, gonna get grabbed, lassoed, pulled back. xGame.kz may have found a freebie, and it will be in the form of Grazine there. Until they will be thrilled about giving up if you're mYinsanity, and they're off to the side here. They're grouped up, just 3 for now. Spectre so adamant about just farming away and doing his own thing. Makes me wonder just what he may be building as Medusa. Well, no surprises there. The Lincolns not being picked up. We haven't been seeing Medusas go for Lincoln so much, but the Skadi first big item. And Yasha just so cost effective in general on her. So, Benomancer, is he maybe just gonna go poking in the enemy jungle? No, he's setting up camp once before Roshan, it seems. Ward's on the high ground. Gets a D-ward out though. They're actually going to maybe start popping away at Roshan for a little bit before they suddenly realize there's maybe bigger fish in the sea to fry. Or this little murky river. This is actually going to commit by himself as a Veil. That's not going to help you too much with Roshan, and the rest of his team are kind of juking it out. So he needs to make sure he's either ready to get in the fight or at the start there in the front lines. So, once again, Roshan it is. 3.4k on Mitch. His Spectre is massive, and they've got his Haunt back up, so that's partly why they're so confident about this Rosh. Knowing there's no Exorcism, this is a good timing to pop their heads in there and just bring down a nice, quick and easy Rosh. Next game, I'm wondering if they can maybe look for trades elsewhere. They've got the Heart of Taras completed on the Death Prophet, also about to hit level 16, so we'll see how things match up when Death Prophet's level 16 and Spectre, similar story. Spectre, Reaver maybe? Yeah, goes for the Reaver. Gets himself down to 750 gold and... he doesn't need to stick with his team if you're Mitch. Heart of Taras, yeah, just pure survivability and HP. When you're away from your team, your partner, you still just don't feel as alone with this fella. On top lane, we have gone back for the Lincolns on Mantis, so they do decide they want something maybe for these instant initiations, spells like Doom. Are they going for any other Lincolns? I'm wondering. I remember seeing someone with an ultimate orb maybe. Maybe that was actually Mantis. That will be a smoke beam in general. This one being pinged out as well. So they seem to have a very good idea of this. And the trade, well, not really a trade possible at top without the T2 tower there, but you can at least try and force some TPs in. Even with potential for pickups. Shiver's Guard. Oh, just barely clips the Death Prophet, but they do not want to chase that deep. Oh, bit of a clash. Maybe brewing here in the middle lane. Further to the north, the Doom comes out. It's actually on the Ogre Magi. The Shiver's Guard, this Doom is getting really fat. He's level 16 now. That's a bad Ogre. You don't go wandering out on your own. That ain't safe. Maintains Milan, 14, 1500 gold. These, like, the supports are just what gets me. Looking at the Elder Titan. The Scarith still very, very under farm, but well, that comes down to the way this game kind of panned out with him roaming and not having the utmost success. You can see a bit of a clash brewing out here. They're going to start with a lasso here. Barrett pulls back the Elder Titan, take away that aura from the fight. That oh so pesky aura, but that, you've got to kill him first. Drops a gem. Mystic Flare was kind of off the mark, it seems, as looks like Mantis may be the next target. He's just slowing down the Venomancer in his tracks. Maybe switch targets here. The gem's still being pinged out, and Spectre will respawn momentarily as not the ideal push coming from the mYinsanity boys. See where they go next. It seems they may be going to check a couple of these runes first. Well, it isn't going to be. Oh, you know, I was about to say it wasn't going to be after another 30 seconds, but hey, there's some old runes. Who needs to wait? And Spectre now with Reaver has got heart very soon. Just needs the vitality booster. So 100 gold, and suddenly Spectre is going to become close to king of this planet. There is not a hero in this game who can really match up to him too well until you start looking at Medusa with 3, 4, 5 big items. Which is still some ways away, so. What a fucker, he's been matched. Has the Heart of Trask on himself as well as the Spectre now. And Spectre can go wherever he likes, wherever he feels is going to be best. His team needs some extra crowd control. You get the Abyssal Blade. You need him to tank up, you get more tanking up. You want some extra armor, you get the Assault Crest for your team. Whatever he thinks is going to offer most, and well, for now, Mitch is just going to keep on pushing out, farming his lane. Should a fight break out, he does have spawn in 10 seconds time. And has been pretty proactive about using them though. But as things stand right now, xGame grouped up, and their smoke usage has been even more liberal, and as a result, well, they got no smoke left. Apart from the one they just used. Of course. None left in the shop. And they're looking for pickoffs. If they can try and get a pickoff and translate it into some kind of actual base damage, Raxes or what have you, and uh-oh, they're going to reveal him. Oh no. The smoke popped, they knew someone was there, and well, they strike. 42 seconds on the sidelines does a buyback. And if they go for this bottom lane, they have Exorcism and all that jazz, but that is such a high risk. I think that's where kind of this ward set works right now. It's just kind of spread them enough apart that they give different vision with some overlap, because the overlap being, hey, look, these are the spots that are safe to plan, or... But... yeah, we'll see if there's going to be any big, scary decisions to be made for one of these xGame heroes as this game goes on. Alright, so let's see what the next plan's going to be here. Item progression is still continuing for both sides, and still a very even on farm. Yikes. Looks like maybe thinking another smoke on this die side. The Veil's been completed, and yep, it's going to be a smoke. 4 man. Leave the Spectre mid. He can keep showing himself and just create that slight sense of false security, because Spectre can always be haunting in. He can almost also lead to finding some of these heroes. If you want to use that haunt, give you that general idea of where people are going and where people are at any given moment. Often use this. Top lane. Here we go. The Doom comes out. Death Prophet's going to be the target. Elder Titan just making her so squishy. That natural order comes into play. The courier. The Radiant Courier. Oh boy. Mid lane. Medusa versus Spectre. Tank versus tank. I feel like nobody wins this fight. Yeah, maybe with the Elder Titan coming in. Yule Scepter going to break it and pop the Stone Gaze. Alright. seems to be okay. Throws the Earth Split across the ravine, and Equal almost cops that one, but he's going to be running into multiple heroes. Shiver's Guard will give some vision. The cancel not there in time. Level Death was on cooldown and could not get enough done off of that one. So mYinsanity up 16 kills to 8, a team we haven't seen in the Star Series. Made their way from the Pro Series, have some known names, some old school players in Grazine and Mitch. Lizard, one of the big pub stars of Europe, and they're going to march their way through. They throw the Venomancer ultimate. He's getting lassoed onto the high ground, but the slows are real. The BKB Batrider trying to just pull people into the base here, but mYinsanity is staying alive. The Venomancer is the one kind of getting low here. Medusa trying to just hold her ground and right-click, and we'll get 3. It's a triple kill. Mantis ends up going down thanks to Mitch, and Mitch, well, he's on the run. Gets thrown up in the air. Would love to get this kill on the south, but he's not going to get a chance to do so. Turns around, gets the Ogre before dying. Oh, that's a sad Ogre. Sad Ogre. 4 dead for 3. What a bloody mess. Doom is only a 6k gold. That's impressive. On his way back to base. Want to see what he's planning on getting as far as items go. And yeah, interesting stuff. mYinsanity, definitely a team to look out for. By no means like a top contender in the Europe Division X game, but still a team who will pull off wins here and there. And they've had their share of upsets against some Tier 1 and fairly strong European teams. So for mYinsanity to go off to a good start like this is a nice little ego booster as far as going into the next couple probably tougher Starladder matches for them. Reeves on the Radiant side does have a mech for himself. You can see here it's been a bit of a up and down constantly, but really this is just an up and down within a small little window. No one's ever had much of a lead here. Batrider forced to BKB TP, a bit worried for his own life as he went on a little expedition in the enemy jungle. And yeah, it's never been more than 3,000 really. Only by a very small margin. Experience dead even as well. Like these graphs, they look like kind of just a standard like kind of up-down graph, but this is really like if you had this on different axes with like your normal 40-minute axes, it would just be a flat line if you had a different scale. So this has been even all the way throughout. And into the enemy jungle we go. Radiant Vision is there. They can actually drop down a ward of their own. Thinking about Roche. Coming up kind of soonish. There's a blink. Uh-oh, that's your Batrider. He didn't have a BKB. Not that it would have mattered against the Doom there. Spectre now going to go for a Horn in. Whoa, who's he looking for? It's the Dazzle with the Grave. Nothing to cancel it, though. The Grave TP was enough. Level Death maybe on cooldown there. Both teams kind of lacking the Disables department. This other Titan, even his Yules was maybe on cooldown there. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe either out of range on cooldown or just didn't think to use it. So down towards the bottom lane we go. Gale off the mark. Venomancer. Careful. Yules. Maybe into a stomp here. Concussive shot doesn't hit, result in the Plague Ward. Wakes him up. Of all the things to wake him up, that's a very casual Mystic Flare, and that's a big chunky of mana, Hadawa. Not sure about that ulti. And they keep scouting at this Roshan. Oh, that's sad. It was half a second too early. We'll have to see if he goes back in there. Throws up the Spirit, so that's not going to check Roshan. That's going to scout. We'll scout a couple. And that's going to kind of let xGame think, if they're throwing Spirit, are they trying to scout us because they're Roshing? And the smoke is here because they think they're in Roche, which is not the case. Instead, it's xGame.kz actually looking for the Roshan themselves. They're going to get caught out by the Elder Sin Spirit. This is going to get it for a nice little stomp, perhaps. Batrider's fishing. Who's he going to find? Gets the pull in the Elder Time. Will maybe cancel a stomp there. And it's into the pit we go. Venomancer takes a fall. That's the start of things here. And Mitch does not really want to fight into this Exorcism. This is a tricky one to fight. Tricky one to handle. The Roshan getting low. Spectre gets thrown up in the air. Who gets the ace? It's the Medusa. And this is really bad news from mYinsanity as a result. Mantis is absolutely massive now. With 2 lives up his sleeve. Not a Medusa you want to fight. Buyback from the Elder Titan. Mitch is now in the fray. He's going to bring down Reeves, who couldn't get off the grave in time. And, well, Mitch is... Oh, he's still alive! Okay. They got him. Phew. For a second there, I'm like, are you kidding me? Milan on the LAN. And he's going to be thrown up in the air. Yules being used used, and Milan is still going to get chased down. The right clicks are real, and even with a split shot on, more than enough DPS coming in from Mantis, who's 8, 4, and 5 suddenly. Butterfly, Lincoln's, Skadi, and, well, 3.5k gold on top of that. It's finally taken a bit of a swing, and this graph should take a big upwards one, is my guess. It hasn't quite updated. There we go. That's what I expected. Like a 6,000 experience, and the gold. Oh, now it comes in 4,000 in like the last 30 seconds in favor of xGame. And hey, they're on the high ground. It's just like I got Aegis. Not much I need to be afraid of. Maybe the Spectre when Spectre's alive with the Elder Titan, but those two heroes dead for around 30 seconds each. Does mean Mantis can't really die too easily. And since he has Aegis, xGame are probably thinking for that high ground break soon. They can just have Medusa in front and make do with that. Oh no. Just a Skywrath kill, but at this point when you're trying to defend high ground, every pickoff can matter to some extent. And Elder Titan will keep his spam up. Just keep throwing those spirits, and Mantis just gets earned up, and onto the high ground we go. He's going to just right click away onto the tower. Split shotting at the same time, so people who come near maybe getting harassed by it as well. And well, not much to be said or done. They get the Doom on the Death Crop, but Exorcism has already been used, and they can't actually kill Waterfucker, who's in BKB form as well. Dodges the Earth Splitter damage. That's a disaster. You Doom him, you Earth Splitter, and all the damage gets blocked. Mitch is now going to go in this Death Prophet thinking, okay, he's doomed. Doom about to wear off. Can the heals come in time? No. It's a bit of a nice little turnaround here. Medusa, the only one left standing, trying to fight the Spectre. Spectre got the cheese. Did not actually see that one earlier, but that's a nice little steal. Now we find ourselves in a, well, 2v1. Mantis got to get that mana shield on, a bit delayed on it. And with Doom now showing up as well, Mantis is going to have to fight his way out of this one. Mitch is not the right target to be attacking in, but the problem is he can't really run. He's hoping that these other heroes come in, but it's going to be a kill. It's a 5-man wipe. mYinsanity still have a little oomph left in them here. Whew, it was like a 5k gold swing going xGame's way. They had the team wipe, and now suddenly went back the other way. What a topsy-turvy game. Tier 3 tower goes down, and I think xGame just getting a little bit cocky due to the nature of having the Aegis on the Medusa. Mitch is working on a butterfly now for himself. That's some evasion against Medusa, who will see this coming and can maybe consider the MKB. But I'm not sure if that's entirely a necessity necessarily. Well, right now, it's back to being anyone's game. Let's take a look at that gold graph, and the downward dip is kind of happening here. mYinsanity. Yeah, Hadawa. Kind of caught in no man's land there. Not exactly a kill that he wants to be giving up. This dip is... I feel like it should be going more towards that dire favor after that 5-man wipe. And there we go. You can see it on experience. Maybe just taking a minute or so to update. The pause does come out, and take a moment to see where things are. 45 minutes in. Very even still. Spectre and Medusa. Not much separating the two in farm, but the secondary carries. Definitely Death Prophet a much better late game here. Well, Doom fantastic late game, but as far as raw damage goes, Death Prophet fantastic in these late game scenarios. And what? Toilet break in the middle of a game? Are you kidding me? You get in this like groove, you get your momentum going, and suddenly it's like, yeah, let's take a break. But not just do you have the Death Prophet as a secondary carry, you've got Bloodlust in the late game to buff up the Medusa. You've got Grave, which is a great late game. So Batrider, also fantastic late game with that instant pick-off potential. But you can't discount some of these dire late game heroes as well. Doom has a refresher, can just delete 2 heroes from a fight for long periods of time. No Ag Scepter upgrade on it though. And then you have the Elder Titan, who's got the natural order. And well, Spectre is Spectre. We've seen what this hero can do as well. Well, bit of a pause coming out here as one of the players do need to use their bathroom. And well, we've got one more game after this one, guys. It is going to be Team NIP, which is Artstyle's new team, taking on Hellraisers, I believe. So, an interesting little game. Some CIS Dota to round off the night of European action. And hopefully this game can get it away. I don't I think we're on schedule for the most part. Yeah, this game started an hour ago, so if this game ends in the next 15 minutes, we're gravy, but looks like the way things are going, this game could still extend for some time. DD Rune has spawned bottom. I wonder if there's any plans with this. Spectre picking it up or something, but Spectre's at the bottom lane could go and grab it and have Horn available. Just the Skywrath dead on his team. Take a look at some of the item pickups here. Support's getting decently farmed, full staffs across the board. The Ogre actually gets a Hood, and I actually like this against the Spectre. It helps against the Radiant damage, helps against the Dispersion. So, not a bad choice, I would say, all in all. Inspector will be grabbing the DD Rune, although it looks just like just a farm for a little bit. And the carry's perhaps not satisfied with what they've got. I'm wondering what Medusa's thinking now, last item. You've seen that butterfly, you're maybe thinking MKB. And definitely would agree largely with that decision if that's going to be the case. And at the same time, you're going to be careful. You're going to make sure you have buybacks. And it will be a Demon Edge, so most likely the MKB coming to handle the evasion of the Spectre. As for Spectre, a lot harder to make room for that item. I guess the Urn is the obvious choice there as far as dropping an item to get that MKB, but you've got to farm it up. You have a bit further to go, and it's just not really that natural 6-item slot, I'd say, in some ways. You kind of want a Diffusal Blade for one thing. Get the mana burn against a Medusa to break through that mana pool. Yeah, don't mind if I do. So, big back and forth. You can see here, that's the dip from that 5-man team wipe earlier on. Oh, that Mystic Snake is just so cruel to deal with. I see some dewarding coming out. Stalcat, on point. Mitch is going to make his way just towards making sure he has buyback more than anything at this point, which he is a tiny bit short of, so you definitely have to be careful in these late game scenarios, especially here like Spectre. I think you almost want to be with your team so you can fight and kind of be on the, like just diving in on the front lines, because then you can buy back and haunt in for a second life in a team fight. Don't even need to have that teleport. So we see Spectre just walking around with just phase booties and no slot for even your casual TP scroll. He's just confident in his movement around the map to never be too far away from his team when he needs it, and also just about how and when he can use on. Oh, they're on the low gun. Gets scouted out. Bat Rider is going to go for this one. He gets thrown. Lincoln here, who's the Doom, is going to be the Doom target. No one just yet. The Stone Gate's coming out as well. Elder Titan hits the ultimate. The first Doom at least goes down the Death Prophet, who is BKB'd and also has used the Exorcism, so the chase is on. mYinsanity seems to want blood. They maybe found some here. It's going to be the Medusa getting the second Doom. Still doing good damage. Nice Venom ultimate. This is going to explode threat damage. Actually, not as nice as I would have expected there. Mantis, his Doom may be wearing off soon. He's just right clicking. He's standing his ground, but problem is, he's standing his ground. The Mystic Flare goes down, as does the Bat Rider. Buybacks are forced out, and Mitch, still alive, has used his Haunt. So if he goes down, he'd have to buy Boots of Travel after buying back to get back into this fight. What a fucker. His Exorcism on cooldown, so this is a risky time to be fighting for xGame.kz, not to mention having just brought back their Medusa. mYinsanity, the tug-of-war continues, this little tug going their way. Finally pull a little bit away from their opponents. As the game, it's a 49-minute mark, and next Roshan will be coming up sometime in the next few minutes. Elder Titan gets Vlad's and just any kind of cost-effective items we can get at this point. mYinsanity thinking, let's just do it. Anything that could potentially tip the scales of the battle. Slightly less damage output from someone like Medusa with the bonus armor. Slightly more right-click damage from your entire team, if they happen to be around you. So this is going to be an interesting one. Courier. Oh, that's a gem drop. Courier dies, and it was, well, going to the Elder Titan. That's a disaster. His gem, as well as his newly purchased Vlad's, both dropped. And the gem was just sitting on the ground here. Does Radiant Side need a gem? Yeah, no, they've got the Bat Rider one, so I'll pick it up. Just make sure they have their hands on it, but they don't need to have it with them at all times. Not to mention the lack of invis on this dire side, so they're not trying to be sneaky or anything like that. It is a decent-sized Roshan respawn right now. Both teams will be poised around it continuously, although a lot of these heroes not having item slots for Batrider. BKB's in with a lasso looking for this Venomancer. This could just put him into position for an ultimate, but he gets silenced up now, and as a result, well, no Venomous Gale for you. Doom goes out on the Death Prophet, who does not Exorcism. Venom going to buy back, trying to maybe take this fight. Medusa just going to go on the front lines. No refresh available for Doom. He gets multicast on the Ogre Magi. It's all turning up red. As a bloody mess is made in the dive secret shop here. Lizard going to turn around, shows up once again in his ultimate, will help bring down the Ogre Magi. What a fucking BKB form, has to be careful. Gets graved up, has the Exorcism going. He needs to stay alive as long as possible. The Spectre going to buy back, going to hold back in and probably look for Whatafucker first. He's nice and low HP, kind of juiced up already. Dagger in afterwards, he's pretty fast, so the Shiver's Guard will slow down the chase, but the earn damage, the radiant damage is going to be enough. Down she goes. Only buyback in the game is the hero who we just saw die. Death Prophet could buy back if they want to contest Roshan, but guess what? What Roshan? There ain't one. We'll have to see if xGame.kz overreact. The big fella's up. But they've got a refresher. Doom also have 2 Dooms in 40 seconds, or he can pop the refresh now and then have to wait like the 70 seconds for his ultimate. 100 seconds, sorry, for his ultimate. But they're not in Roshan as the Doom figures out. Blinking enemy shop and picking up. No items yet. Maybe thinking buyback. Definitely a point in the game where these buybacks matter so much. He's buyback on cooldown for some time. It's a rapier for Medusa. Oh boy. xGame.kz decide, well, either Medusa's tanky enough that death is just not going to happen, or we're just in a position where this is the only option. And Medusa definitely has not been hitting all that hard, but this rapier will change all that. You need to be careful maybe not to show it immediately. Well, we get some Rapier Dota. 0 buybacks on the playing field as well. Holy crap, how does that happen? Normally at 52 minutes in, if this is Chinese Dota, you're seeing 10 buybacks. This is all green. Not the case here in this best of 1 in Starladder Europe. They look to maybe do some dewarding, control the map as much as possible. They do need to make sure that they don't give away Roshan at all. Medusa could take the Aegis herself. We just need to drop the Yasha, which is definitely a suitable exchange if you're getting an Aegis with you to protect your Divine Rapier. And well, speaking of protection, Death Prophet gets another Lincolns for the team. And this is largely to help out the Medusa potentially and just cause Doom issues with getting these Dooms off. And he's going to get 1 Doom off. It's going to be on the Batrider, who doesn't have buyback, I don't think. Second Doom comes in the Ogre, so it's just going to be the kind of supporting cast of this Radiant team. Going to give him a hard time to take a fight without the stuns that the Ogre and the Batrider provide. Grave is now on a style cap, but that's not going to save his life. He drops a gem. Next in line is the Dazzle. They're losing supports kind of 1 by 1 here. Oh, another gem. Oh dear. They're just mining these gems. For the jewels they are. As xGame just forced to back off. And sure, you've got this Deucer Rapier, but Deucer didn't even get a chance to right-click in that fight. She needs kind of the setup from the Ogre. Needs the protection that the and just space that the Batrider can create. And, well, maybe thinking about going to Roshan. No Dooms available, but this would be a long shot. 3v4, 3v5 scenario, and even without a single Doom, it would be a big risk. But they are smoked up, so it looks like they do want to make a play. Batrider, okay. Should be a kill on this Elder Titan. Self-heals comes into play. He's just stalling now, it seems, more than anything. So 1 kill, and Roshan is taken. Enough time bought. Oh, Aegis! Spectre just barely gets it. He gets, well, pulled across, and I don't think this Batrider wants to do too much more for this one. Mantis, he's doing so much right-click damage, you cannot fight this Divine Rapier. The Ghost Scepter going to save Haldor. Mantis is going to be careful, he's got nowhere to heal himself back up. He's going to drop the Rapier at this rate. He goes down. Divine Rapier hits the deck. Lizard on the Venomancer going to pick it up, but he's low himself. The Exorcism will bring him down. Divine Rapier on the ground. Doom's going to be the next one to pick it up, perhaps. Nope, it's left for Mitch. Drops the Aegis, picks up the Rapier, and he's on hot pursuit here. Has the extra movement speed from the dagger. He's chasing onto the high ground. Lincoln Sphere is there, popped onto himself by the Death Prophet. I don't think there's a buyback on this Medusa. Oh, there is now. Actually, no, 40 seconds and we'll have one. And mYinsanity can just kind of back off, like chill for a bit, push out these lanes. They lost some tier 3 towers there. And then maybe, well, I don't even know if you're going to go for a push. Just Divine Rapier on your Spectre is such a dicey thing to have. Could upgrade those phase boots to some boots of travel. But after that, Spectre is pretty much there. No real ways to go beyond that item-wise. And then, well, The sea of diamonds. These are blood diamonds right here, these gems. There's so much bloodshed spilt around them. As Doom is going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter. So wants to be able to... end of the day, it's just so much more damage coming out from your ultimates. Not to mention, it can last longer than the actual... well, get the increased duration if you're staying near. And hey, disable stuff like the evasion. Some of these annoying passives. Evasion being the big one here on the Medusa. Mark through the middle lane. He starts off getting a triple multicast to the face, and uh-oh, that ain't a real hero. Illusions OP. Those 60-minute illusion runes, man, they are not to be scoffed at. That's a Doom use. I don't think he wants to refresh right now. He's got 90 seconds. He's just going to wait till he has 2. That's less than ideal for the mYinsanity squad. So... no rations for some time, and we'll have to see if either team looks to do anything too ballsy. Medusa going to be respawning soon, has 2.7k gold, and after losing a rapier, you get really demoralized. Do you buy another one? Do you just finish your Mantis style here? Mantis is probably going through all the options and thinking, like, what does my team need? Could just have a buyback, but at some point he's like, he needs to deal damage. If damage isn't there, you're in trouble. Even heroes like the Batrider, item-wise, has fallen off. He has not grown from his BKB, which it feels like he had ages ago. Oh. From here on out, we'll see the Dire team in control of this game. Spectre now with Rapier in hand. Not wanting to give it up, of course. That'd be a nice way to just hand the game back to the Medusa. Batrider, one of those great pick-off heroes as well. Uh-oh, BKB, the pull is real. Mitch could be in trouble. We need to get a Horn off immediately. Mantis to start things off. No Horn. Nice! Forced up onto the high ground. The chase isn't there. The Skyreth, the hero of that little clash. And that's an Exorcism. That's a big ultimate cooldown. 135 seconds from here before that Exorcism is back up. Does have some duration left on it, of course, but we may just see mYinsanity go for a push. Let's end this. Down the middle lane, perhaps. They do have to worry about counter pushes coming in some of these top and middle lane, especially without the tier 3 towers, but if they're pushing mid, they're mid lane safe. Pulling forward from the Doom. It's actually Yules from the high ground. He's got... oh, Death Prop, that's some ballsy shit going on. Has got the 4-star. Oh, sorry, the Lincoln Sphere that blocked the instant grab, but we'll see. Doom now, we're looking for some fresh targets. 2 Dooms are online. You can just use on some of these squishy supports if you want to. And there we go, starts things off. First Doom onto the Medusa. Solid damage over time, and second Doom. It's going to be coming. And I think it actually got blocked by the Lincolns. Yeah, I think it was used on the Death Prophet, and the Lincolns there are going to prevent that one. So just the one Doom coming into play. Elder Titan going to look to zone heroes out as much as possible. Medusa still alive, but maybe not for long. Back into the fountain. The Doom damage still ticking. With the poison damage, looks like the fountain regen will be enough to save his life, but not enough to save the Rax's lives. Divine Rapier Spectre, new meta, has a Mantis style now complete, and also 8k gold. Get safely as well. They get the one or 2 kills and just say, look, we can get a Rax, and that's it. We don't need to get greedy. We don't need to play in such a way that can come back to bite us in the ass. Spectre, 8k gold could upgrade those phase boots, the boots of travel, but from there you're kind of limited in where you can go item-wise. You got gifted this free, like 6k gold item. It's nice, but you just get maxed out that little bit soon and also have that one item slot taken up, which I guess Divine Rapier is another bad item to have for it. 60 minutes. There we go. Boots of Travel. Spectre. Still maintaining that 6th slot status. And I guess the 7th slot comes on the Courier. That's where you're looking at your Refresher. You can have a Refresh Haunt. Maybe even something like a BKB mix into there as well if you're worried about some of these chain stuns and nukes, like most namely the Ogre Magi. He's going to be getting those double 4-time multicasts in no time at all. I guess... actually, no Acceptor still. Oh, this is hurting. Having an Accept Ogre at this point in the game would be very nice. And a smoke is the call. mYinsanity. We're going to catch Next game by surprise, but with how long this game's been going, I imagine neither team going to be putting themselves in a position where they can make a game-losing mistake too easily. Do something very wily to get them in. They swing through, no observer scouting them just yet. Assault Crest on your Death Prophet. Jeez, the item pickups are real. That's no buyback money though. Definitely have to be a bit careful, but I think just anticipating the ability to play safe and not fight after this match before some of these big lands. And uh-oh, that's another Rapier. So Medusa! Balls of Steel. Going full Havost here. Pickoff is coming. And it's on your Spectre. This could be a double Divine Rapier. Spectre's going for the Haunt, but guess what? Everyone's here. Spectre gonna die. That's a Divine Rapier. Medusa, 2 Rapiers, drops the Yasha. Uh-oh. Now what? If you protect this Medusa, you're in trouble. mYinsanity. That's all xGame have to do. Keep this Medusa alive, and the right clicks are gonna start happening. Oh boy, that Spectre just alone farming. And the ward got planted later, it looks like, but just you do that enough, and one day you'll get caught out. And what an unfortunate turn of events. That is not how I expected things to go from here on out. By no means is this game over, even with the double Divines. The double Ds maybe not going to be big enough for this Medusa. There's so much late game potential on mYinsanity. Hey, guess what? Spectre just had an item slot opened up. So, potential Diffusal Blade. Like, just go straight for the level 2 Diffusal. Potential Abyssal Blade. And options are plenty for the Spectre. So, 62 minutes in, and still kind of unclear about which way this game may go. The musical rapiers continues, and you can see here for so long this game, in this little period where things were so even, and then even the biggest lead has been 5k for the Radiant team, or a little over 5k, around the 6 or 7k for the Dire team at 62, 63 minutes in. That's the net worth, so very even stuff coming out from these two teams. And down the mid lane we go. Oh, no, that's a smoke first. They want to pick off. Pushing high ground. Always going to be a bit tricky. Try find lead with the Batrider, get that one kill, and then go high ground in that 5v4 scenario. Oh, almost. I think I'd love to get this Elder Time. That aura is just so goddamn strong in the late game. And uh-oh. They see which direction Milan. He just walks right into him. What are you doing, Milan? Oh, the biggest throw of his life, perhaps. The full self action just wasn't there. Doom going to look to go in with exactly just that. Where are the Dooms? They throw down the Venomancer ultimate, doing some decent damage there. Doom silence up. He kind of can't really decide who to go on. He needs to just find a target for this soon. And Medusa taking that first Doom could be in some trouble here. The Doom duration is still there. And Mantis, he's going to lose both Rapiers. Say it ain't so. Oh my gosh, he's trying to right-click people down, but it's not going to happen. That's 2 Rapiers on the ground. Spectre's like, yeah, I guess I'll take one. Veno's like, yeah, I might not. I don't know. I don't know if this is for the best, boys. I'm not exactly a right-click carry, he says. Doom, he's happy. He says, I'll do it. I'll step up to the plate. I'll take the sword from the stone and become Arthur of Camelot. Medusa dead again. 2 fed Rapiers. Well, boys, that's the power of late game Doom. Aghanim's Doom onto this Medusa, just crippling. This Medusa just, you can't do anything about it. That looks so bad from mYinsanity. The Elder Time was just like walking into 5 heroes. xGame.kz were like, yeah, let's gonna go high ground, grouped up here, and the Elder Time just walked into them, which is a pretty big kill, but evidently they need Lasso and Doom. Like, the only way they can win a fight. Problem is, Doom's always going to have buyback, I guess. So we can just buy back in, and well, we'll now see the push down the bottom lane. They do need to be careful they hold onto these Rapiers. You don't want to be feeding them right back to the Medusa, because that's one way to turn this game around. Spectre now on the front line. 1 Divine Rapier in hand. Also bought the MKB. Thinking, what did he... Okay, so he dropped the Radiant. I was just thinking, like, what is actually gone from this? Slightly less pushing power, but at this stage of the game, single target damage is the way to go. 4-time multicast to get things started. Luckily, Ogre does not have the Accept, otherwise the pain could be oh so real. Tier 3. Still alive, Medusa. Respawning, and I think just respecting the fact that, hey, if we lose someone, it's Rapiers, and giving back Rapiers not good. This is this weird stage of the game where you maybe have Rapiers, but are they on heroes that can actually benefit from it? Doom, not so much. Spectre, sure. And then also the weird stage of the game where, oh, look, Roshan's back up, but Roshan is no longer as big because, guess what? Spectre and Doom do not have item slots. This is where you start putting Aegis on heroes like Milan on the Elder Titan. Like the Venomancer. You're putting it on these kind of support utility heroes because your carries are 6-slotted. 65, 70 minutes in the game, your carries do not have room for this Aegis. What's the Spectre going to drop? You want all these items. You drop a heart, you become squishy. You drop a butterfly, well, you lose a lot. Manta, giving you the illusions. Like every item Spectre has, he wants at this stage. So I imagine we're seeing someone like Elder Titan and Venomancer take the Aegis plus cheese. And this poor Medusa, after 2 lost Rapiers, 15-8-11, had a solid game, but Mantis is running out of options. So it will be the Elder Titan with the Aegis, and she's, yeah, just as expected. It goes to the Venomancer of Lizard. Now maybe they're thinking high ground. Medusa, what are you going to do? 4.2k gold does have buyback. So you could buy a cheap little item like a Crystallis maybe, if you could still have buyback on top of that. Although a lot of it's unreliable gold, so you wouldn't want to be spending too much. You've got to try and catch this Doom. But again, Doom is going to buy back, Boots will travel in, and then he'll still have the 2 Dooms this fight. So even if you kill him before he casts a single Doom, he's buying back and TPing in, and your lasso's on cooldown. So it's, in some ways, a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't. It's hard to just accept that he may get Dooms off in a fight. I don't think that's something you want to accept, but short option they have. Boots is still on the front lines, and these Lincoln Spheres just being somewhat popped menacingly, and there we go. Doom going to go in, gets Lasso to start things off. Is the burst damage going to be enough for Zine? You can kind of focus down here. The Medusa ultimate allowing him to take a ton of physical damage, and they will get the kill on the Doom. Down for 2 minutes. There's your buyback. He has not used any ultimates here. The Batrider also getting low. Doom needs to find a target to TP onto. And, well, Mitch is doing some work here. How do I get out of there? Medusa's still alive. Doom going to finally show up. There's your Doom. Medusa has buyback as well, though. Has bought a relic here. Love to get a hands onto one of these rapiers. It's the Ogre Magi who actually has the rapier. Equals like, maybe I should just die and give it back to the Medusa here. Doom comes out on the Death Prophet. What a messy little fight this one is. Grizine getting slowed down. He is not going to rapier anymore. It's actually the Spectre. No, Spectre dropped the rapier. Spectre dropped the rapier and also bought back in this fight. This is it. This is it. Buybacks have been used. Mitch is going to try to come out on top of this one. Mantis taking too much damage. Lucky for him, there's no Dooms left. He's now on the run. Got to get back to Fountain. One set of Raxes is not the end of the world. Do not die for these Raxes. If you die, it's all over. You're a Medusa. You can fight Mega Creeps. You're going to lose bottom. You may lose mid. This is not the end of the world. Try to get your hands on some of these rapiers, which are what? Ogre? A third rapier about to come into play? So there's one on the Ogre, one on the Elder Titan. That's where they went. What on earth is this game? 68 minutes in, and Mantis is like, okay, don't worry guys, I haven't fed enough rapiers yet. I gotta give him one more. Okay? And Mitch, well, he's suddenly got another open slot. With these Divine Rapiers being dropped, you can't pass them to a teammate. Mitch is like, dude, give me the rapier, and guess what? You cannot do this. You can't. It's stuck on you, Elder Titan. You've got to live with your decision. You can't even drop it and leave it at base. I'm pretty sure it just is stuck in your item slots. Like, if it drops on the ground, you got to leave it there if you don't want to be, like, stuck and cursed with it for the rest of the game, or potentially for the next 2 minutes before you die. So Doom going to replace his rapier slot with an Assault Cuirass. And we'll see what an Elder Titan does. This is where you get the Mask of Madness or something. It's going to pick up a plate mail. So I think in Shiva's Guard. Alright, Dusa. Let's get rapier number 3. The pushes aren't coming. These buybacks being on cooldown. I wonder who's more afraid of that. You can see here, Spectre and Doom. I think it's harder for mYinsanity to push without it. Because if Doom just gets lassoed and killed at the start of the fight, you can't fight without the Doom. So I think in that, from that point of view, mYinsanity, their buybacks are more important. For xGame at the same time, like, yeah, Medusa needs the 2 lives to fight the... fighting Doom, you need buyback. So I think it's important for both teams, but I think more so mYinsanity. Spectre decides to go for a Satanic as this last little item. Yeah, I can agree with this. I can get on board. Well, what's the plan going to be? Where to? What now? What now? Mantis. I think he's just thinking one thing. Third Divine Rapier. Let's go. 70 minutes in now. Divine Rapier Ogre. He's still working on that Aghanim stuff. He had an Ags at this... Like, not having Ags really hurts. The pipe is nice and all, but you get an extra stun that can multicast. You always have mana for that secondary stun. Like, it is just so nice to have. I think it's hurting him quite a bit here. We'll see. mYinsanity now. Get to work on this top tier 2 tower, and no defense will be coming from the side of the xGame lineup just yet. To the high ground we go. This Doom is got to be one of the main targets if they do decide to go for this push. Vision is crucial, and there isn't a Radiant Observer Ward here. I don't even know if they have a gem. Yeah, gem on the Scar. So he would love to be able to de-ward this. Hasn't actually spotted it just yet. If that ward gives him vision of the Doom, that could provide the information xGame need to get the good jump to start off this fight. Well, where do we stand? 15k net worth lead going Dai's way, but that's not a number that I feel has much value right now. Doom still farming, okay. I guess he's thinking, let's wait buyback. You're up, these Raxes, okay, it's 3 of the 6 Raxes, and Medusa can easily handle it. You're also giving Medusa time to buy. Ding, ding, ding. Rapier number 3. Man, these viewers are just racking in Divine Rapier purchases this game. Big shout out to everyone who's already bought the Starladder Season 11 bundle, coming with everybody's favorite Luna set, as well as all the access to, well, Starladder Season 11 games, which is a ton of Dota as always, so it's actually a really good bang for your buck ticket with the amount of Dota you get to watch. And mYinsanity smoked up. Doom buyback yet. It's still willing to go for this one. Oh, Lincoln's breaks. They get the second Lincoln's that blocked the Doom. No, oh, no, it didn't. He cancelled it. Doom comes out and set on the bat right, who does not get the lasso off. He was looking for the Doom, I believe, there. And oh, Exorcism has been cast. Earthsplitter there as well. A lot of that damage getting negated, it seems. With the standoff between the two teams. Venomancer just walks in, throws an ultimate casually. And uh-oh, Mantis. Yeah, there was once a Medusa there. Another Divine Rapier. He drops a Heart of Tarrasque. Says, I don't need no heart. I got a Divine Rapier. Let's go. Allied Hero deny. Well, I guess Death Prophet denied the Batrider. That's a small victory. They're going for the throne. It looks like mYinsanity have somehow done it. 3 Rapiers. 3 Rapiers fed. Medusa, well, I don't know. It's a tough game. Doom just did so much work keeping Medusa out of every fight, and it's finally game over. The Radiant team will tap out, and mYinsanity get off to a good start to their Season 11 campaign here in the Europe division of the Starladder Star Series. Whew! What an exhausting game. Holy moly. That was something, guys. Big thanks everyone for tuning in to the Starladder action today. We've had a big, long day of China, SEA, now Europe. America will be kicking off tomorrow. So, yeah, we've got plenty of Dota 2 action, guys. Starladder is kicking off, and there's, well, all 4 regions as usual. We've got a big affair of Dota 2 action. I'm GoDz from Beyond the Summit. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got one more game coming up next. Stick around. It's going to be the new team of Artstyle called NIP taking on the Hellraisers. So we've got some Dread vs Artstyle rivalry potentially going on. Stick around.